What's going guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Exos Heroes, let's talk about obtaining mana in this game. How to obtain a lot of mana in a very short period of time so that you can have utmost advantage against your opponents, because in this game mana is a OP mechanic as long as you can really take a lot of advantage out of it. You know why? Because there is no such thing as skill cooldowns like any other RPG games out there like Summoner's War or Epic 7. Yes, you heard me right. As long as you have enough amount of mana, you can spam your skills all day and night. No questions asked. So this is obviously going to be a very strategical, advantageous point if you can keep on filling, or let's say maintain the mana bar of your heroes to a healthy level all the time. So how do we do that? Let's talk about that thing in this video today. So let's get this started. I think if you really are able to take the advantage of this knowledge, you will have much easier time to handle the battles in story mode and in the PvP contents. That's what I really have to say to you guys. So please do listen carefully. So you can go into the help and you can go into the battle guide, and right over here in the special passive, this is going to be the basic mechanism of how you are going to gain the mana. Obviously there is the passive skill effect as well that's going to allow you to gain like extra mana under the fulfillment of certain condition, which really depends from one hero to another hero, right? But in general, in basic, this is gonna be the way on how you can obtain mana. Okay, now let's get this started. So first of all, by element, it says obtaining mana by element only applies to heroes that are 5-star or higher. So make sure that your heroes are at 5-star grade, or else they will not be able to gain mana through the elemental process or through the elemental affinity. Alright, so if you have a legendary hero unit like, let's say, Karin, Ledger, Cybele, or whoever it is, and you really want to make sure that they also can take the advantage of this elemental system, then please try to upgrade them to 5-star ASAP, or else they are going to be in the disadvantaged situation. All right, so that's pretty much it. Well, obviously fated heroes like Rachel or Battery is not gonna have any problem at all, because they do drop at 5-star, so no problem at all for them, right? So let's get this started. What about for the fire type hero units? 1 mana is created for ally or enemy hero's critical attack. Yes, whether it be the enemy or whether it be any hero from your team, any ally, if they can just land 1 critical hit, that means 1 mana is going to be offered to a fire type hero unit, right? And that's going to be really great indeed, obviously, especially for the PvP content, because when you are, like trying to see in the PvP content, in the late game content, critical hits are pretty much going to be a very common thing that you will be able to see all the time. And with every critical attack, a fire type hero unit is going to gain 1 mana. Just think how fast he is going to be. And this is also one of the reasons why FC Rachel, who is a fire type element hero unit, is obviously going to be having better advantage against the opponents. It's just going to gain that mana really fast. So that's that, guys. Now next element is going to be frost element. 1 mana is created for ally or enemy heroes successful block, it says, right? Now it's not going to be that easy to trigger this condition, because when you are in the earlier game phase, the block thing, it's not really that thing that actually happens often in this game. All right, even in the PvP content, but we can be a bit hopeful when it comes to the late game content. So in that case, yes, during the successful block, either by the enemy or the allies, you will be able to gain 1 mana for the frost type hero units, like, let's say, Battery and Bernadette. So that's that, guys. The next element is going to be nature type, like that of Talia, I guess, and Karin. 1 mana is created when HP is at 30% or lower on your turn, which is kind of a bit hard to achieve, okay? Because at your turn, you need to have your HP at 30% or below 30%, and only at that time you will automatically gain 1 mana. which I think is quite pretty hard to achieve. Obviously, you really don't want to get into that risky zone. Usually, you would really love to just counter that by healing your entire allies ASAP with hero units like FC Anastasia or Cybele or Ledger or whoever it is out there, right? So I think it's gonna be quite hard to play with the nature, and nature is kind of risky at as well at this situation. So not really that amazing. The next element is going to be machine. One mana is created when HP is at 80% or higher on your turn. Now, this is something that is really easy to trigger. Just think about it. As soon as you start the battle, you have a really good attack speed. You are going to start the battle, and that means like as soon as it's your turn and your HP is at 80% or higher, just think about it. You will always be able to create one mana for your hero unit right away. And that is going to be really cool in my opinion. It's so cool indeed. So I believe that machine type hero units are going to have much advantage when it comes to the PvP battles. Best machine type hero unit is going to be Baraka. Think about it, Baraka, guys. I think Yao is also a machine type element, right? Yao, yes, he can really deal some really good damage as well. Now, next unit or element is going to be the light element, like let's say Ledger, right? Permanently possesses one mana if all allies have survived when the turn comes. Wow, what a bad translation. But anyways, when your turn comes and you see that like all the allies are pretty much alive, that means you are still gonna have that permanently +1 mana right off the bat. That means if there are certain units like light element hero units that have certain skills that only cost 1 mana, that means they will be able to spam this skill over and over and over again, because they will have permanent +1 mana with them as long as all the teammates is surviving. But if someone dies, it will be cancelled right away, and you will have to earn the mana through other processes. Okay, so that's that. Popular light hero units is obviously going to be Ledger, and another hero unit, I think Iris as well. Yes, she's a free-to-play unit, right? And next unit is going to be Darkness. Well, this one is quite opposite to light. Well, it needs to be, right? It says 1 mana is created for each defeated ally heroes on your turn, which is like, whoa, that can be cool, especially in the PvP content or in the very hard contents where you have the trouble of getting your allies getting annihilated every freaking time. And usually the Darkness heroes are going to be the last one to hit. Then in that case, Darkness heroes, or let's say the Darkness elemental type of heroes, are going to deal some really good damage thanks to that mana boost right over there. 1 mana is created for each defeated ally hero on your turn, meaning like if more ally heroes are dead during that time, when your turn comes around, you will have more mana. Okay, more allies are dead, more mana. It's like, I will take revenge. I need the vengeance for all my fallen allies. So that's like that. That's the Darkness. And well, there are so many good Darkness heroes right out there. Like let's say, I think Emma as well, right? Oh well. So that is it. I think Fire and the Darkness type of hero units can really get some really cool amount of mana. Like just like that, because like the conditions to get fulfilled is really that easy. That's what I really think. A Fire especially, and the next one is obviously going to be Machine. Nature is going to be really hard to maintain because it's going to be quite risky as well. Frost, I think you really have to depend on the late game content for it to be quite effective. And Light, well, Light is always going to be that +1 mana, okay, just like that, as long as your whole allies are alive. Now that's that for the element types. How about for the type wise? So by type, it says attack type and chaos type. If your hero really do belong to these two types, so what's going to happen is that 1 mana is created when you successfully hit a basic attack. So keep that in mind. You have to make a successful hit. I really don't think that if the opponent manages to dodge, you will be able to get any mana. Okay, so you really need to land that hit. Okay, So that is that. One mana is created when you successfully hit basic attack, and it also really makes a sense. Makes a lot of sense, right? Attack type and chaos type, they are pretty much offensive type of units, and if they really manage to land that hit, then obviously they are supposed to gain the mana because that's what they really are going to excel on, right? And the next unit is going to be defense type and the support type. If your hero units are of defense type and support type, like let's say Anastasia, FC Anastasia, Ulum, like this kind of units, right? Or let's say Garf, one mana is created when an enemy attacks you. Yes, upon getting attacked, upon getting hit, that is a time when you are going to gain one mana. Okay, and even if you like successfully manage to dodge, if you manage to dodge, you are still going to get a mana. So in this case, it's a little bit opposite. Okay, so that's that. I think it's pretty much cool right out there. So defense type or support type hero units are usually best when they are lined up on the front row so that they can keep on getting hit, and that is the main reason on how they can keep on raising up their mana level. Whereas for the attack type and chaos type hero units are supposed to be placed on the back row because they will only get the mana when they strike the opponents. Okay, so it's really not a really good idea to put them on the front row. So this is also like one way on how you can strategize how you are supposed to compose your team. Yes, that's that. All right. So right over here, by element type and by type. Well, for by type, you really don't need to get your hero units to 5-star. Even though they are of like 3-star, 2-star, or 4-star, they are still gonna be able to enjoy this feature right over here. But for the element type, please try to get your heroes to 5-star ASAP if you really do love them. Like let's say Yao, let's say Saibel, let's say Karin. These are the hero units that you would really want to use, and you would really want to take them to 5 stars so that you can make them really, really effective indeed. And that is pretty much it. So let's try to do one battle and we'll just try to see like how it's actually going to work out. Okay, so let's go back right over here. I don't want to die at this moment. Okay, so let's do the retry. Why not? Let's do it. Let's play it, and let's see what's going to happen. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. So right over here, well, the another thing that I also really want to suggest to you guys is that, first of all, there are certain units that can provide permanent +1 mana boost to either the front row or the back row. Like let's say Rachel, or let's say FC Rachel, he can provide permanent +1 mana boost to the back row allies. Yes, you heard me right. Every freaking time they are going to start, they are always gonna at least have 1 mana when they are in the back row, you know, your hero units. Whereas for Battery, she provides permanent +1 mana gain for the allies that are in the front row. So if you have Battery or Rachel, please do keep them in your team and really try to take the advantage of the mana boost that they provide for the team. And that is pretty much it. All right, so please try to take the advantage of that situation. And anyways, let's look into this factor right away. So, well, that is pretty much really cool. Well, let's not try to auto it. Let's just try to, like manually control it so that I can pretty much make a really good commentary on this battle. Oh, well. So, well, that is the enemy's turn right over there. Well, they are pretty much attacking a lot of time. But anyways, this is going to be my Battery, right? So Battery sees an attack type unit, meaning like if I manage to land an attack on the opponents, obviously I'm going to get the mana. And as she is of the ice element, right, what's going to happen is that if she is of that ice element, she really needs to see that if there is any unit right out there who can block the attack. Okay, if there is a block happening around, she's going to gain 1 more mana. So that's pretty much it. So let's try to use our second skill. That's the Moby Dick. And she will be able to deal some really good AoE attack, which is definitely awesome. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Wow, looks really cool, isn't it? And while I mean, like we have Bernadette right over here as well. She's of Ice Element. And as I told you guys a little while ago, if there's going to be any kind of like block happening around, she's going to gain 1 mana. She's an attack type unit. That means every time she attacks, she is going to also gain 1 mana, right? So let's try to attack. And right now she has 3 mana, right? And now she got 4 mana, right? Let's try to look into the this Bernadette. Just look at her. She has now 4 mana, right? How about for this unit right over here? FC Anastasia. She is a support unit, isn't it? So that means if she's a support unit, she will only gain mana when she is hit, not when she attacks. So her 4 mana will stick. Okay? Her 4 mana will just be as it is, even though I managed to kill the opponent or do whatever that is, okay? Just look at FC Anastasia. She still has 4 mana. How about for this Ledger? Well, she's a support type unit, and that means she will only gain mana when she is hit or she is strike. So even if I just make an attack on the opponents, I'm not gonna get any kind of mana, alright? And she's a 5-star grade right now because I really upgraded her from 4-star to 5-star with all those resources. Yeah, it was quite expensive, but I did it. Oh well. So that means as she's of the light element, that means she's always gonna have that +1 mana every freaking time. Why? Because all of my allies are pretty much alive, isn't it? So let's try to just hit one ally right of the the opponent, just like that. Well, Baraka, guys, you will be able to get 1 mana right away as long as he makes an attack. So he has like 4 mana right now, right? So if I just do one basic attack, what's going to happen? Yes, did you see that? He just got 1 mana because he just attacked, because he's an attack type unit. There we go. That's how it happens, right? So let's try to use her first skill just like that. Well, I really don't think the opponent is going to dodge. Well, that was a critical hit, right? But the thing is that in my team, there is no fire type element heroes. So no +1 mana right over there for a fire elemental type of hero unit. And that is pretty much it. Well, that was a really good attack, isn't it? So anyways, right over here, the mana bar of my Baraka is pretty much full. So why not use his ultimate skill, right? So let's try to use it on the main boss. I really love Baraka, guys. I'm like, oh wow, look at that block. Yes, now that block really did trigger, right? That means my this battery has already got 1 bonus mana and the AoE attack. Let's see what happens. Oh well. Well, there we go. So boom. Right, that's cool. I was really able to kill a lot of your units right over there. So that's that. Well, let's keep on checking it out. So there we go. Boom. Well, in that case, my battery is obviously not going to gain mana because she will only gain mana when she strikes, right? So that is pretty much it. So let's just try to heal everyone, isn't it? So FC Anastasia, she's really good at healing everyone, and she is gonna do that. Ledger, really no need at all for right now. I can just try to hit the middle opponent right over there. Well, that is pretty much it. And let's try to use the ultimate skill again on this main boss right over there. Is he gonna block it again? Oh, there is another block right over there, guys. Just look at that. There is the block. Man, okay, so did you just realize you can pretty much pause the video, just rewind it, and you can see that my Bernadette and my battery was able to gain +1 mana during that ordeal because of that block attack. Okay, so I can use the ultimate skill just like that. So there we go. Let's try to use the ultimate skill, and thanks to my battery, my front row allies were able to gain +1 mana right off the bat, just like that. They will always have that permanent +1 mana. And because of that, if there are certain units who can pretty much spam their skills over and over again with just 1 mana, then they will be able to use their skill every freaking time. So that is pretty much it. So let's try to use the second skill. That's going to be the nuke of Bernadette. And block. Ooh, there we go. And my battery actually just got +1 mana right over there. And let's try to use a nuke on him. And if he still blocks, that means I will get some extra mana for my hero units. But anyways, oh well, he wasn't able to block that one. What the hell? Anyways, let's keep on attacking you guys. He attacked Bernadette. Yeah, Bernadette. And this is going to be my Baraka. So let's try to attack him right over there. That's the block. And that means my battery and my Bernadette just got +1 mana. So there we go. Let's keep on moving on, guys. Ice element right over here. So obviously she's gonna get mana whenever there is a block, and she's an attack type unit. That means whenever she attacks, she's gonna gain that +1 mana after she attacks, or let's say successfully lands a hit. So let's just try to keep on pushing our nuke damages, guys. Let's try to keep on pushing out nuke damages. Okay, what's gonna do? Alright, there we go. Battery. He just hit the battery really hard. Okay, so let's try to heal up my entire team, because my Baraka, who is a mechanical type of unit, is gonna gain +1 mana in his turn if his HP is above 80%, right? So that is Baraka for you guys. So right now, the Baraka has 2 mana. Because like I think I just used that ultimate skill, right? So that is also one of the reasons right over there. So anyways, so right over there, just look at that critical damage. Woohoo! Okay, and Baraka still managed to get like 1 mana right off the bat, just like that, because of the FC battery. So anyways, let's keep on moving on, guys. Let's just try to keep on hitting the opponent. Let's try to defeat him. So there we go. There we go. Boom. Let's try to hit him. And yes, that's that, guys. Well, the opponent is of like fire element, right? So that means like if there is any kind of like critical hit going on around, he will be able to gain 1 mana. Okay, so you also need to keep that in mind. Well, I think he's defeated right now. So that is pretty much it. Well, how did you like that battle? How do you like this sample example? Was I really clear to you guys? If not, please let me know in the comment section below. Was I really wrong at certain point? If so, please let me know in the comment section below as well. You know, it's about teaching you and teaching myself as well. And that was pretty much a very interesting part, isn't it? Because like, I really know what to do. I didn't know like what would really happen. I can pretty much predict like if I'm gonna gain the mana or not in the next attack. And in contrast, what I said earlier, I was really able to see a lot of blocking attacks with that opponent. I really don't know why, but block really did trigger a lot of times. So that really made it possible for my Bernadette and Battery, who are of Ice Element heroes, to gain 1 mana just like that, right? And well, the final way to really get a lot of mana is obviously going to be the passives. Yes, please try to play around the passives of your heroes, which is definitely going to help your heroes to gain more mana ASAP. So let's look into Battery right over here. As I told you before, the Breath of Mana, the skill effect that she has, it says overtime effect, front row allies permanently gain +1 mana right over there. Breath of Mana. This is also one of the reasons why Battery is one of the most celebrated unit right out there. Front row allies are always gonna have that 1 mana. And there are certain units like, let's say, Talia, who can pretty much spam her skills over and over again if she just have that 1 mana. Just think about it. You put FC Battery in your team, and then like you put your Talia on the front row. She's always gonna have that 1 mana with her, and she's always able to use her first skill over and over again, which can heal 1 ally by 29% of her own maximum health and cleanse everyone with that really good amount of damage as well. Just think about it, how cool it is going to happen. Or like, let's say there is a certain unit like, let's say Sabrina right over here. Let's look into her first skill. Just see right over here. It requires only 1 mana, but she will be able to deal 300% damage to just 1 single target. Isn't that amazing? Don't you think it's really cool? I would say hell yeah it is. That's why if you have FC Rachel around, who obviously provides +1 mana boost permanently for the back row allies, and you can put Sabrina on the back row. In that case, your Sabrina will be able to use her first skill all the time, all the freaking time, and sweet oh lord, that 300% of damage is always going to be inflicted to the opponents with Sabrina being around, and it really does hurt in the arena battles. Okay, so please do keep that in mind. Well, that is pretty much very interesting, isn't it? Plus, I'm like +1 mana every freaking time. That is super duper cool. And the another way to gain the mana is obviously going to the mana, the passive right over here. It says in the first one, you know, it says gains mana 1 mana if allies mana count is at 10 or more on the turn. Meaning like if the allies mana count, the entire mana count is 10 or more, she's going to gain 1 mana right away. So if she is around, if your FC Battery is around, please try to conserve the mana as well. If you are really good at conserving the mana, you will be able to keep on getting your FC battery on high level of mana all the time, and she will be able to use her AoE skills very frequently. I mean, like FC battery, when she really can deal some huge AoE damage, the opponents will really go on the dismay. Okay, they will really be disoriented and they will be really dead. And the next thing is that gains 1 mana. Again, there's another condition. If enemy's mana count is at 10 or more on the turn. Like, what? Hey, it applies for both. Like, let's say either your allies or either it be your enemies. Whatever the case, you are gonna have that +1 mana if the mana count is over 10, whether it be on your ally team or in the enemy team. And this is also one of the way which you can pretty much keep on channeling your passive skill of your heroes so that they can keep on replenishing their mana over and over again. And right over here for the Baraka as well, just look at that. He says attacks if an enemy takes damage and its health drops to 10% of less, and if it triggers, he will gain 1 mana. How cool that is. It's like a final hit, or let's say a finishing blow, and that's obviously is going to help you guys a lot. All right, especially if you manage to bring the health of a certain opponent to 10% or less, and in that time Baraka is gonna land that extra hit attack. Even though it's not his turn, he's just going to land that extra hit, and with that extra hit he's going to gain 1 mana. How cool that is. So it's pretty much a very unique way to trigger the mana activation, right? Isn't it? So please try to keep on checking the passive skills of all your hero units so that you can pretty much understand them to their core and try to gain a lot of mana in the due process. Because if you have a lot of mana always, every freaking time, what's going to happen? You are always gonna be able to use your really cool skills over and over again, just like Talia. Because as long as there is +1 mana in the team, she is obviously will always be able to use her first skill without any problem at all, because the mana requirement is just 1 mana cost. So that is that. So this is pretty much it for today, guys. If you have any queries or the questions, please let me in the comment section below. We can really trigger a really good conversation or discussion in the comment section below. And this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.